I've been seeing a lot of fans of Love is Blind express their concern that the show is becoming more conservative, and I honestly don't think that's the case. I work in the film production industry, I have worked on plenty of reality television shows, and I'm going to explain what I think it is. I mean, it's very obvious that the past couple seasons of Love is Blind that we have been seeing a lot of more conservative people on the show, and people are theorizing that they see that that's the way the country is going, and so they are trying to either tap into that audience or something like that, or trying to bring these types of ideologies to the forefront, move the Overton window, so to speak. But like I said, I have worked on plenty of reality TV shows. I've worked with tons of producers from LA, from New York, from different parts of the world coming to, whatever city I'm working on to work on some kind of television show. And I mean, you guys watch these shows, you know that producers are very calculative people, but I will tell you that casting directors and producers, they are also very psychologically in tuned. I've never been in on the casting process, but I have been in on the interview process. You know, those sit down interviews where a cast member is talking to the camera and saying about what's going on, how they're feeling, and stuff. Producers can hear what you're saying. They also can hear behind what you're saying. They can read into things. They read those little subtle nuances and they will jump on it and make you explain further. Okay. And having worked with so many producers, like I said, from all over the country, most of them are not MAGA. Like, don't get me wrong, there are MAGA people in the film production industry. Plenty of MAGA camera people, grip people, even PAs that I've met and have been forced to work with. um, but producers generally, majorly, are liberals. They're leftists. And they are what right wingers have accurately coined, in my opinion, called coastal elites, okay? And coastal elites are typically leftists, liberals, but they are also like they don't get it, right? Like they are more superficial with their liberalism and leftism. And it's still very white centric, okay? This is not a put down. This is just a statement of fact, okay? But this is like one of the reasons why, let's say you'll watch Love is Blind and like they'll put a black guy on the show, but it's like he's not the kind that other girls would really want to be with, like Clay or Liler, Tyler, right? Or like on Love Island, they'll put, an Asian person, a black person, Latinos on the show, but they don't really get it right. The people end up having very toxic love stories, or just like things are just not playing out well. So it's like a very superficial liberal leftist type of person. And so, as someone, again, who has worked with producers, I'm not naming any shows, I'm not naming any companies, but a lot of big ones I have worked on, okay? Some that y'all definitely know, and this is not me trying to uh, name drop because I refuse to name drop, but I'm just trying to tell you that I know what I'm talking about here. And if anyone else works in the film production or reality TV industry, you can come in the comments and back me up on this. But I promise you, when they get into the room with some MAGA type right now, or someone who says something offensive or something like that, they are not like, yeah, we want to promote this. They're like Birdman rubbing their hands together, like, this is gonna piss people off, this is gonna get people angry, this is gonna get people rage baiting online. Like, they know what makes y'all tick. They know what you guys want to see. A lot of these producers have been doing this. Like, there are producers who are still producing reality TV from the golden age of reality TV in the mid 2000s. That was 20 years ago, only 20 years ago. Now, if those producers were 30 when they were doing this, 35, they're 55 now, they're still working. They know what y'all want to see, okay? And I know people love to drag Love is Blind, but I feel like Love is Blind as a show has matured so much. The show still has to have some mess for people to want to tune in. But I feel like the show has gotten so much better. It has matured so much. You know, conversations that I look back on that really stuck out with me, for example, was I forget, I think it was like 2 seasons ago, the military girl and the boyfriend or the fiance who was from Venezuela who moved to the country, and they had a long conversation about her military career and him being an immigrant and talking about like colonialism in Venezuela. Like that is like some real ass shit that you would not see. You just don't see that on other reality shows, okay? And as angry as that conversation made people, it needed to happen. And I don't think if the producers were MAGA, would we have seen that conversation? Like they are trying to show the nuance. According to, rumors that I see online, people are saying that there's a lot of MAGAs on this season. And, maybe in some way they are trying to humanize MAGA heads, okay? And maybe they feel like that is an important steering of the culture conversation, that we have to first see these people as human first. But then of course the other argument is like they don't see me as human because they're trying to take away my rights, which is all valid criticism. But I believe that Love is Blind, the producers are putting these people on the front street, putting these ideas out there because they want us to see the lives of these people, that they are real people, you know what I mean? And that these are real conversations that are happening. Like you can't just hide them and pretend that they don't exist or that they're not there. You have to put it out. Like we have to see it happening in order to engage with it. Love Island as a show is not that deep. I wish it was, that they showed these conversations, but I feel like they know people already get harassed and on Love Island, so they don't want to make it worse. But there were people on there that were MAGAs, and even some of the female cast members were like, people were like, why didn't you talk to that guy? Why didn't you get to know him? And some of them were like, because they were right wingers and I didn't want nothing to do with them, and we never saw that. But anyway, I could go on. If you guys have any questions about the reality TV stuff, please drop in the comments below. But I don't think that the producers are right wingers. They're MAGA. I feel like they see that we are in this time right now, that this is controversial. Like, y'all can't tell me the last season of Love is Blind with the 3 women that said no to the men because they were looking for trad wives. They were traditional types. Nothing traditional about these people, by the way. They were very traditional men and they wanted certain things and they believed in certain things. And the fact that all the women said no because of that, y'all can't tell me that that is not culturally significant. Like that was a moment in 2025, 2024 when this happened. Culturally significant, showing where the country was in that moment, that literally all of us out here, young people that are trying to date and stuff like that, and we can't meet people, and we're having, there's a disconnect between men and women right now. We don't have the same values, we don't have the same belief systems, we don't have the same ideas for the future. And last season of Love is Blind, I feel accurately like depicted it, like not even in black and white and technicolor, full sound, Dolby digital surround sound. So that being said, I don't think that the Love is Blind producers are right wingers, they're conservatives, they're MAGA. This type of work does not call to that, because it's very unlikely. It's possible, I'm sure there's people who do it, but it's very, very hard to live this lifestyle, this production lifestyle, and be traditional. It's 12 to 14-hour work days. If you're a producer, you're always on your phone, you're always traveling, you're always going somewhere. These are not traditional MAGA conservative, church on Sunday type people. They're just not, at least not in my experience. I met hundreds of producers. I know I'm glazing them so hard right now. I think it's because I myself am a producer on the low budget, budding, new career type end, but I know what it takes to do what they do. And they are definitely not trying to hurt people. They're not trying to, make people more conservative. They are literally just showing it for what it is. Okay? This is how people are. This is the modern era we're in, with a little mess mixed in on top.